Hi, this is Carrie from iNails. I thought I would share a video of how I do transfer foils. So first of all, this is a binder that I have filled with transfer foils. This is all of my transfer foils. I don't know if you can see it, but this is like a 2-inch binder filled with them. And it just goes on and on and on. So, and I actually still have more to fill up. So it's both sides, pages and pages and pages. And you end up buying, there'll be like one foil that you like in a box of like 10, and you end up, with the entire box because you wanted one. And that's how you end up with all of these. But anyway, you don't want to throw the rest of them away, so you just end up keeping them all, and you got to figure out a way to store them. So this is all of them, and I thought, well, I'll share a video on how I do transfer foils. So many other people have also done similar videos, but I thought I would show you what I do. So I'm gonna do these on 2 swatch sticks, and I always start with the background color of the same. So I was thinking I would just do a solid foil that's a completely solid transfer foil, and then one that is transparent, a nice floral transparent foil. Okay, so since this one is white, it's got a white background and it's a solid foil, I'm gonna start with a white swatch stick. So I figure we'll just paint this one white, and I thought I will pair this one maybe with a nice nude. So we'll use a nude with this and white with that. So we'll get started with that. I'm gonna start with this with Cozy Cashmere. I'll do that with Cozy Cashmere. We'll just do 1 or 2 coats. It doesn't have to be perfect because this is just a background color. So we'll just do a coat here. Okay, and then I'm gonna cure that. And then we'll do a coat of white. And again, this doesn't have to be perfect. This is only just a little bit of insurance in case you miss any little spots when you're transferring, that you won't see anything. It'll look flawless. It'll look like you didn't miss anything in case you missed a little spot, because you'll have this white background. You'll have this white base here. So I'm gonna cure that as well. Okay. And we'll just give it another coat, a really quick coat here. Okay, and I'm gonna cure that. Okay, next, this is the foil glue that I use. It's Macart. So many people talk about Macart as their favorite foil glue, and it is also mine. I've tried a couple others, and I feel like I get the best transfer from Macart. I've tried Beetles. I've tried, I think it's called D&G. I think I've tried one more and I can't remember, but I feel like Macart I get the best transfer with. It's not perfect every time, but it's close. So I'm sticking with Macart. So here's my swatch stick that's white, not perfect by any means, but that's okay. And so I'm going in now with my glue, my transfer foil glue, just one coat. And it's just a thin, even coat. And you don't want to see any bubbles or brush strokes, and you don't want it to be too thick either. So not too thick, not too thin, and no brush strokes. So that looks pretty good to me, so I'm gonna cure that. And I think that Macart says to cure for about a minute. Some people say 30 seconds, but I cure for a minute. So I'm gonna give that a cure for a minute. Okay, so this is finished curing. So now I'm going to give a nice thin, even coat to this stick as well. Okay, when that looks good, that looks pretty good to me. So now I'm gonna go in there for another minute. Okay, so after it's finished curing, this is almost done curing. It's almost a minute. It doesn't have to be a full minute. Perfect. It comes out of the lamp when you cure foil. It's with all the ones that I've ever used. It gets warm. It can get hot. So the stick is a little bit warm here. Let it cool off a little bit to get the best transfer possible. Just give it a few seconds. So let it sit for like 30 seconds to a minute before you apply your transfer foil. So I'll just let it rest for a second. And then meanwhile, you can check out your foil and decide where you want to place it. So this one, not really, it doesn't really matter. But for instance, on this one, you don't have to transfer this exactly the way it's laid out here. If you can pick and choose, if you didn't, you can cut out flowers that you want. You can place them any way you want to. You don't have to transfer the image exactly the way it is placed here. You can do whatever you want to do. But for the sake of this video, I'm just going to leave them as they are. But the solid ones, you kind of have to leave them as they are. So, okay, so here we are. We've let the white one rest. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay this down. Okay, and just kind of right straight down the middle and push around down the sides. And I like to use my fingernail. Just kind of scratch on the sides here. Some people use a silicone tool to push things down to make sure they get the transfer right. That you can use that if you'd like to. I feel like sometimes you're not supposed to use your nails as tools, but I do it all the time, so I'm using my nails. So I'm just scraping this down, and you'll see it's already coming up. So it looks like my candy cane right here at the candy cane wasn't going to come up right. So lift it up and bring it back down again. Okay, my sled, if you can see that, the sled is not coming up. So I'm going to bring it back down and I'm going to scrape it. Up here at the top, we didn't really get the glue good, so that's probably why. All right, so to take your time with this, and then when you feel like you've got the full transfer there, go ahead and take it out. Okay, and it looks like we did a good transfer. It's completely clean on the foil here, and it looks like we got a good transfer. So the next one, the nude is cooled off a bit. So I'm going to take this one, and let's see, we'll just take it, try to get as many. Here, we'll take it and we'll go right here. Okay, and right down the center, around the edges, and I'm just scraping, and the translucent ones, these, I mean the transparent ones, are obviously a lot, they're so much more forgiving because they have all this blank space there. So if your foil like transfer doesn't come out perfect, it's so much easier to hide the imperfections of it. You would not, like, you, if that's not perfect, it doesn't, you can barely tell. But it actually came out perfect. So there's that. So there's that one, and there's that one. And those are your two transfers. Now I like to top this. A lot of people will just take a nice top coat and top it off. But what I like to do is I like to take just a layer of gel. I feel like a layer of hard gel protects it and kind of like locks it in and seals it in. So I would take a layer of gel, just, you know, it doesn't have to be a ton, but just a thin layer, and I kind of encapsulate it. So I would just take just a thin layer. Now this particular gel, it is, it will cure to a high shine. It can actually be used as a top coat. But if it looks good, it looks pretty good to me. So I think I'm gonna cure that. And again, with this one, I'm just going to get, I'm down to the very last of my, okay, and then I'm going to just put a fine layer, I'm almost out of my gel here, and just kind of put a nice thin layer of gel on top, just to lock in the image. Make sure you get your sides. Like if this was a nail, make sure you would get your sides, your free edge. Okay, and then I would cure that as well. So give that a cure. And then, okay, so technically this cures to a high shine, but instead of having to wipe off the sticky layer, I always just, I like to just use a top coat, a no wipe top coat, and that prevents me from having to wipe off the sticky layer. It's kind of like my lazy way of doing things, so I don't have to wipe off sticky layers. Plus, this is the iGel Beauty top coat, and I know, I think Nailed by Val, she talks about this top coat as being her all-time favorite, and it is really good. Like, I got this top coat, I got 12 bottles and a bottle of an 8-ounce bottle refill, 12 of these bottles, plus an 8-ounce refill bottle for $59.99. And it's gonna take me forever to get through all that, but it's really good top coat. So they have those kinds of sales. If you ever see a sale like that, jump on it, because this is actually a really good top coat. So I'm just gonna top her off here, and then, did I already do that one? Okay. And that's it. Okay, so this is my first one, and the second one is curing, and that's it. And there was the second one. So these are the two finished swatch sticks, a solid and a transparent. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and I'd be happy to answer any questions. If you'd like to see me do any tutorials on any of the foils that might be in my book, or if you'd like to see a video on all of the foils that are in my book, please let me know in the comments, and I'll be glad to share anything that I have. So thank you so much for watching, and if you like this video, please give me a like. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.